Okay, so dear students, so today topic is pharmacology of antiplatelet drugs. It means somewhere, so they are inhibit the platelet activity, and already you know from the process of blood coagulations. So the platelets so play important role in the blood coagulations. Or in HAP, in the blood chapter, you already learned regarding the blood coagulation process. So they are the blood cells. They are mainly three types: WBC, RBC, and platelets. So among these, the platelets, so they are play important role in the blood coagulation. So as the platelet number decreases, the blood coagulation process is also decreases. So as the platelet number is increases, then the blood coagulation process was increases. So that increased blood coagulation process, it can create the various problem, because so as the number of platelet increases, so they are accumulated, so they are forms of one plug inside the blood vessels. So due to formations of that blood plug, so where are also known as opaque, so where the various waste material like where cholesterol, triglycerides or many others, so they are accumulated. So that was responsible for the formations of the atherosclerosis or blockage of the blood vessel. So due to blockage of blood vessels by accumulations of the platelet at particular places, so that can responsible to causes of the various diseases like stroke, ischemic heart disease, or coronary artery disease, due to only to increase the platelet numbers. So normal platelet number is around 1.5 to 3 lakhs, okay, per deciliter. If that number was increases means, so more platelets, so they are found in the blood, so they are accumulated each other. So that process was known as the platelet aggregations. So platelet aggregation, it is one of the important phenomena or mechanism. It is required for the formations of the plug at the site of injury, so where the bleeding is present or bleeding is occurs. So due to cutting surfaces of blood vessels, the loss of blood is present. But due to presence of platelets, so those platelets are activated. So they are joined together. That is known as the platelet adhesion at the site of the damaged places or injury. So where first they are formed the plug. So due to formations of plug, later on the various blood coagulation process can be taken plus. So that was helpful for to prevent the loss of blood or hemorrhage. If the platelet number is more, or platelet adhesion is increases, or platelet aggregation increases, so on that time without any injury, so inside the blood vessels, so those platelets are accumulated. So they are responsible for the formations of the blood clot or plaque. So that plaque is responsible to cause of the coronary artery disease or stroke, heart attack or heart failure or myocardial infarction, many other blood related disorders. Okay, due to only the platelet aggregations. And these antiplatelets, so these are the agents or drugs. So these are mainly inhibit the platelet activations or activity, or so they are mainly inhibit the platelet aggregation. So that's why, so these are helpful for the treatment of the various heart disorders regarding the, there is a coronary artery disease or heart attack or stroke. So among them, so the aspirin, it is one of the most commonly used drug. Then as well as clopidogrel, so these are frequently available used as a antiplatelet drugs. So regarding the introductions, so that first we should be learn regarding the definition. So these are the agents which inhibit the formation or actions of chemical signal. So that can increase the platelet aggregation. So due to any injury or any, if the increase the platelet number, certain signals are produces. That is the information. So those information sharing to the neighbor platelets or cell, then that platelets are also involved in the adhesion process or platelet aggregation. And these agents, so they are inhibit the chemical signal between the different platelets, or as well as the formations of the platelet aggregation or adhesion. And such agents are known as the antiplatelet drugs. And these drugs are also known as a antithrombotic drugs, because so these drugs are mainly inhibit the formations of thrombin. Thrombin is an enzyme. It was formed during the extrinsic pathway as well as intrinsic pathway by activations of factor 10. So that factor 10 activate the prothrombin activator. So then the prothrombin activator or cascade, it can convert prothrombin into thrombin. Once the thrombin was formed means the blood coagulation process can be continued without need of the intrinsic pathway and extrinsic pathway. If it is cannot be dissolved by natural plasmin in the blood, so then the formations of thrombin is increases. So that was responsible for unnecessary clot. And these drugs, so they are mainly antagonize or inhibit the formations of thrombin. So due to that reason, so these antiplatelet drugs are also known as a antithrombotic drugs. So this is the image. So we can easily see this is the blood clot. It can block the flow of the blood. So inside the blood vessel, so due to platelet aggregation in the normal blood vessel also, it can form the clot. So that formed clot, it can adherence the flow of the blood. Or some ruptured blood vessel side unstable, that is the plaque was formed, so that is was treated, that was prevented by use of the so these medication. So due to these phenomena, so these drugs are mainly used, commonly used for treatment of the stroke, or it is used as a anti-stroke also. And also so they are helpful for to treat the or to avoid the further heart attack. So heart attack is occurs due to lack of blood circulations towards the heart due to any blockage in the coronary artery. So that was blockage can be cleared. So with the help of the antithrombotic drugs or antiplatelet drugs. So that's why so these drugs are mainly used in the heart attack because they can prevent the blockage of arteries of the heart, and as well as so they are remove the blockage in the arteries of the brain. So that's why so they are also used in the stroke. Okay, stroke is one of the coagulation related disorder. Immediately the mortality or death can be occurs due to any formations of plaque in the blood vessels of the brain or inside the brain tissue, that the blood coagulation is present or coagulant is present. Okay, so due to that plaque or fibrin clot, so that was responsible to cause of the that is the death, that was known as a stroke. So that was also treated with the help of the antiplatelet drug. So that's why aspirin is a life saving drug. Any stroke or any unwanted loss of conscious or heart attack, immediately the doctors so they are given the aspirin. So aspirin is a life saving drug because any uncertain loss of conscious or fall down of the person that was responsible for platelet aggregation. Okay, any unwanted, if you are hearing the unwanted news or any stroke or any excitations or any unwanted event will happen in the life, immediately the loss of consciousness occurs. So that was responsible for the activations of platelet. Then further the platelet can be activated, so they are becomes the they are involved in the platelet adhesions or platelet aggregation. So due to that the supply of blood towards the brain, towards the heart, towards the organ was stopped or decreased. So due to that reason, there may be death or there may be morbidity. So that was prevented immediately. If it is doctor do not know what happens to the patients. Okay, so certain such conditions, so the doctors, so they are given the aspirin as the life-saving drug because the doctor do not know why or what is the reason for loss of conscious or what is the reason for stroke or any other conditions are there, but they give the aspirin because so that aspirin it can mainly inhibit the platelet aggregations or it can avoid the that is the clot. So due to that reason the aspirin is immediately they are given. so to prevent the morbidity or mortality or death. That's why the aspirin is known as the life-saving drug. After that, so they are go for the diagnosis. What will be the happens? So whether it is related to that is a blood clot or any other factors associated, so they are responsible to cause of the that type of stroke or loss of consciousness. Later on they can diagnose it, but immediately so they are given the aspirin as the life-saving drug. So that's why aspirin is known as the life-saving drugs. So regarding the classification, so these antiplatelet drugs, so they are mainly classified into 5 types. That is the first one is the prostaglandin inhibitors, that is the aspirin. So as you know, the pharmacology of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So these drugs, so they are mainly used as a antipyretic, helpful for the fever, that is high fever or pyrexia, or these drugs are mainly used as the analgesic because they are helpful for treatment of the pain, and these drugs are also used as the anti-inflammatory action, okay, or they can treat the inflammations. But among these drugs, the aspirin, it is also having the, or it can inhibit the platelet aggregation. So due to that reason, so aspirin is used as a antiplatelet drug because it mainly inhibits the phospholipase 2 enzyme. So this enzyme is responsible for to release of the arachidonic acid, and arachidonic acid is required for the formations of thromboxane A2, and thromboxane A2, it can initiate the platelet aggregations. Okay, so this thromboxane A2, it was synthesized from the arachidonic acid, then arachidonic acid is released from the, that is the phospholipids or damaged blood vessels or tissues in the presence of the phospholipase 2 enzyme. Then they can form the arachidonic acid. Then that arachidonic acid in the presence of the COX enzyme, that is cyclooxygenase enzyme, so that was responsible for the formations of the prostaglandin derivatives like PG2, PGI2 or PGF2, and also thromboxane, it is also, it is the derivatives of the prostaglandin. Among those prostaglandin, so this thromboxane A2, it is responsible for the platelet aggregation. So as the platelet aggregation increases, the blood clot process inside the blood vessel was increases. But here the aspirin, it mainly inhibits the synthesis of the thromboxane A2 by inhibiting the phospholipase 2. So due to lack of this enzyme, the arachidonic acid do not forms, and lack of arachidonic acid, the thromboxane A2 do not form. So due to that reason, so this aspirin, it is used as the antiplatelet agents. And second, that is the phosphodiesterase inhibitor. So phosphodiesterase, it is an enzyme, it is also written as the PD. So this phosphodiesterase enzyme, it is required for conversion of cyclic AMP into 5-AMP. So already you know the cyclic AMP, it is responsible for to increase the calcium. Okay, so due to increase the accumulations of calcium by a cyclic AMP, it can enhance the synthesis of prostaglandin I2. Okay, prostaglandin I2, it is also known as the prostacyclin, it is the derivatives of prostaglandin. But this prostaglandin I2 or prostacyclin, it can inhibit the platelet aggregation. Okay, from the prostaglandin, it is only one component, that is the prostaglandin I2, are also written as the, are known as the prostacyclin. So this prostacyclin, it can inhibit the platelet aggregation, that is helpful for the treatment of the blood coagulation related disorder. And this prostacyclin activity or synthesis was increases under the influence of cyclic AMP. So as the cyclic AMP concentration is increases inside the blood vessels or in the tissues where the prostaglandin I2 synthesis was increases, then so this prostaglandin I2, it can inhibit the unnecessary platelet adhesions or platelet aggregations. But So an enzyme is present in the blood that was known as the phosphodiesterase enzyme. So this enzyme was responsible for metabolism of cyclic AMP into 5-AMP, and this 5-AMP do not have any role in the synthesis of prostaglandin I2. So as the metabolism of cyclic AMP increases, the synthesis of prostaglandin I2 is also decreases, and beneficial effect due to prostacyclin or prostaglandin I2, so that was also diminishes or decreases. But by use of phosphodiesterase inhibitors like dipridimol, it can inhibit the this enzyme, that is the that is the phosphodiesterase. So due to that, it can block the metabolism of cyclic AMP. Then, so this dipridamole, it can enhance the cyclic AMP. Then also it can enhance the synthesis of the prostaglandin I2. Okay, so due to that reason, so this dipridamole is used as a antiplatelet drug. And another side, so this phosphodiesterase is responsible for formations of ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate. So this ADP, it's play important role in the platelet activations, and platelet activation is necessary for the platelet aggregations. And this dipridamole, it is also inhibit the synthesis of ADP by targeting the phosphodiesterase enzyme. So due to these two mechanisms, dipridamole, it is used as a antiplatelet agents, are helpful for treatment of the various blood clot related disorders. Then third class, that is known as the ADP inhibitors, that is adenosine diphosphate inhibitors. So this ADP, it is mainly acts on the various receptors of the platelets, especially glycoprotein second B and third A, where it is involved in the formations of the thrombin or formations of the fibrin clot. But here the drugs like ticlopidine, then clopidogrel, so they are inhibit the ADP by inactivating the ADP receptors. So lack of activations of ADP receptors, so where the ADP was failed to bind on the ADP receptors of the, on the platelet. Okay, so due to that, so there is no platelet activations can be taken place, or signaling do not occur. So then the platelets are normalized, so they do not involved in the platelet aggregation. So due to that reason, the clopidogrel is commonly seen in the therapy used as an antiplatelet. First, so they are used the aspirin. If it is aspirin is not suitable in certain cases, so where the stent can be placed in the patients, okay, inside the blood vessel. If the stent is present means, so what the aspirin was fail. So instead of aspirin, the doctors, so they are used the clopidogrel. But in certain conditions, the physicians or doctors, so they are used aspirin as well as the clopidogrel as a antiplatelet agents to avoid the unwanted fibrin clot or blood coagulations after surgery or any stent replacement or stent placements to avoid the coronary artery disease or heart attack, or even so this combination aspirin plus clopidogrel, it is used in the treatment of the stroke or myocardial infarction. This is one of the best combinations commonly seen in the prescriptions. But actually, so they use alone aspirin. If aspirin is not suitable to patient means, so they can use the clopidogrel. If the patient is serious, condition was serious, so on that time, so they use the aspirin along with the clopidogrel. Aspirin inhibit the platelet aggregation, and clopidogrel, it can inhibit the platelet activations. So platelet activation are because the platelet in the blood is always present in the inactive. Okay, so whatever blood, so inside the platelets are present, so they are inactive. So when they are struck to the wall of blood vessels, actually the wall of blood vessels is smooth, it cannot activate the platelet. If any reasons, the if the wall of the blood vessels become the hardens or wrinkle, so on that time only, or due to injury, so that blood vessels wall become the wrinkle or dry, so then only the platelet can be struck to the wall of the blood vessel, then they are activated. So that platelet activation is required for the formations of the plug, or that is the accumulations of the platelets inside the blood vessel. So this plug was responsible for to block the flow of the blood easily due to only platelet aggregation or platelet addition. And here aspirin, it can inhibit the platelet aggregation, and this clopidogrel, it can inhibit the activations of the platelets. So finally, so they are prevent the excess formations of thrombin or excess formations of the clot. So due to that reason, so both drug, so they are commonly seen in the prescriptions for treatment of the various serious disorders, including the stroke. Then class fourth, that is the glycoprotein second B third A receptor antagonist. So these are the main receptors. So they are present in the plasma membranes of the platelets. So when any ligand, if it is bind on the these, especially thromboxane A2, it can bind on this, or ADP, it is the ligand for these receptors. Even thrombin, certain condition, it is a ligand for this glycoprotein second B and third A. So due to binding of these component on the glycoprotein second B third A receptor, so those are present in the plasma membranes of the platelet. So those are responsible for activations of platelets as well as so the release of the phospholipids from the platelets, and those phospholipids only, so they are involved in the formations of the fibrin clot. So lack of phospholipids from the platelet, the blood clot process cannot be continued or the blood clot cannot be formed only after activations of glycoprotein second B and third receptor on the platelet surfaces. So then the phospholipids are released. So those phospholipids, so they are helpful for formations of the semi-solid like substance that was known as the blood clot. So the drugs like abeximab, then tirofiban, then eptifibatide. So these drugs, so they are mainly inhibit these receptors. Even the presence of thromboxane A2 ADP, the phospholipid do not release or the platelets cannot be activated. So due to use of these drugs, so they are inhibit the unwanted thrombin formations or fibrin clot formations. So that's why, so these are also used as a antiplatelet drugs. So regarding others, that is the prostacyclin, then silostazole, then ridogrel. So these are actually, so they are inhibit the platelet aggregations. Among PGI2, it is the prostaglandin derivatives. It is also known as the prostacyclin. Naturally, it was present in our body, synthesized in our body during the overactivations of the prostaglandin receptors or formations of the prostaglandin. If prostacyclin is found more means it can inhibit the platelet aggregation naturally inside our body. But synthetically we also made the prostaglandin I2 or prostacyclin derivatives. So those are used as the antiplatelet drugs or antithrombotic drugs. So their main purpose, so they inhibit the formations of thrombin, and second main purpose, so they inhibit the activations of the platelets. Then third is, so they inhibit the platelet aggregation. Finally, so they are block the formations of the clot or they can dissolve the clot. So then, so they are helpful for treatment of various serious disorder along with the stroke. So next one, so regarding the mechanism of action of antiplatelet drug, so before that you should be understand the concept of the blood clot. So regarding the rule of platelets, so in the blood coagulation process, so any damage of the injury to the blood walls, so they are releases the collagens. Okay, so they are releases the collagen, maybe kinogen, chemogens, or many other tissue thromboplastins. So then, so those collagens are due to damage of blood vessel, the blood vessels so wall or surfaces becomes a wrinkle or dry. Easily platelet hit to the blood vessel and they are activated. Or so release of collagen, so that was responsible for activations of the platelet. So that activated platelets is responsible for formation of thrombin. Okay, one side. So that thrombin is required for the formations of the blood clot by enhancing the conversions of fibrinogen into fibrin. Then the fibrin, it go the structural changes or polymerizations reaction. So then only one semi-solid like substance was forms in the side of the injury, that was known as the clot. And once the thrombin was formed, mean it was present in the blood. If it's more formed means, if it is more active means, it can enhance the blood coagulation process. But inside the blood, one another beneficial hormone is present, that is known as plasmin. So that can dissolve the clot. If the plasmin activity was decreases or the formations of thrombin more means the blood clot is more. So that was responsible for to cause of the various severe disorder. And another side, due to activations of platelet, certain components are released under influence of the various enzymes. So due to presence of phospholipase A2, it was responsible for the formations of thromboxane A2 because phospholipids, that is phospholipase A2, it can convert, that is the phospholipids into arachidonic acid from the damaged blood vessels, so that can release the phospholipids. And due to activations of platelets, so this enzyme was activated. So this activated enzyme convert phospholipids from the blood vessels into a arachidonic acid. Okay, so under the influence of COX enzyme, so that arachidonic acid is responsible for conversion into a thromboxane A2. In another enzyme is present or released from the activated platelets, that is known as the phosphodiesterase enzyme. So this enzyme, it is responsible for release of the ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate. Then in third phenomena, so due to activations of platelets, so the more thrombin can be formed. So like that, so three phenomena was occurs due to activations of platelets or damage of the blood vessels wall. So then, so thromboxane, released thromboxane A2, ADP or thrombin. So they are mainly activate the glycoprotein second B and third A receptors. So those are present in the platelet surfaces. So due to activations of once again these receptors, so the phospholipids and various components, so those are involved in the blood coagulations. So those are released. Then so they are activate fibrinogen, or so they can combine with the fibrinogen and involved in the formations of the fibrin by activations of these receptor. So various phospholipids or various cofactors, so they are released, so they are combined with the fibrinogen, then the fibrinogen was converted into fibrin, then the fibrin will finally it can convert into clot. So this clot, if it is not dissolved by a plasmin means, so that clot can travel in the blood, so where the blood vessels are small, especially systemic capillaries, so where it can be accumulated, then it can block the, so that part supply blood to the that part. So due to deficiency of the blood to that part, if it is in present in the brain means, so the hypoxia is occurs. So due to hypoxia, so that tissue was death. So due to death of that part of the brain is responsible for the stroke. Or if it is deposited in the coronary arteries means the myocardium, it can got the less oxygenated blood. So due to that, the heart attack, heart failure, cardiac arrhythmia or angina may be occurs. Or if it is accumulated in the renal arteries, so then the renal or kidney or nephron, they can got the less oxygenated blood, then the ischemic condition, so that was occurs in the nephron. So due to ischemic deficiency of oxygen in the nephron, the nephrotoxicity occurs or the kidney was failed due to only the formations of excess thrombin in the blood. So that's why, so these antiplatelet drugs, they are known as the life saving drug because they give life to the organs, or they can prevent the failure of the organs by inhibiting the excess of blood coagulations or by dissolving the blood clots. Okay, so this is the basic phenomena regarding the role of the platelets. So that was involved in the formations of the clot. See here the antiplatelet drug, so they acts in the various position, then they are inhibit the clot. So that was it learned in the next slide. Okay, so here the first drug, that is the prostaglandin inhibitors like aspirin, then as well as the, that is another drug, new drug, that is a diazoxibun. So these drug, so they are mainly inhibit the release of thromboxane A2. So lack of thromboxane A2, so there is no platelet aggregation, then there is no clot. So due to administrations of aspirin, diazoxibun, so they are inhibit the formations of the clot. So then they are helpful for treatment of the various, that is blood coagulation related disorders. And second mechanism, that is the ticlopidine, then clopidogrel. So these are the ADP inhibitors. So these drugs, so mainly inactivate the ADP receptor, then the released ADP under the influence of phosphodiesterase. So that ADP was failed to bind on the ADP receptor. Then further, so they are inhibit the activations of the glycoprotein second B and third A receptor. Then they can inhibit the clot. Okay. Then that is the third category, that is the phosphodiesterase inhibitor, that is the dipridamol. So it is inhibit the release of ADP by targeting the phosphodiesterase enzyme. In another side, so this dipridamol, it can enhance the synthesis of the prostaglandin I2 or prostacyclin, that was the natural antiplatelet drugs, or it can inhibit the naturally platelet aggregations. Then last class, that is the glycoprotein second B third receptor antagonist like abeximab, tirofiban, ftfidiated. So these drugs, so they are mainly inhibit the activations of these receptor. Then they block the release of the components or phospholipids. So those are involved in the blood coagulation. Due to that, so they can block the formations of fibrin, then clot. So like that, so they are prevent the formations of the blood clot. Then so they is used as a antiplatelet drugs. Okay, so next one is the, so regarding general pharmacology. So that is the first COX-1 inhibitors like aspirin. So it is mainly administered by oral route, that is PO, in the dose 75 or 150 or 300. If aspirin taken 50 mg or 100 mg, so on that time aspirin, it acts as the analgesics, or it acts as a antipyretic, or it acts as a anti-inflammatory, where it can inhibit, helpful for treatment of fever or pain or inflammation. If same aspirin or acetyl salicylic acid, it is the chemical name of aspirin, if it is given in the dose of 150 or 300 mg, so that dose, it is shows the antiplatelet activity, or it can inhibit the platelet aggregation. So that aspirin commonly available in the market in the form of the ecosprin. Okay, ecosprin, it consists of aspirin, so that is commonly seen in the prescription after surgery, or so those patients, so they are suffering from the blockage in the blood vessels. So those patient prescription, they are commonly containing the ecosprin or nothing but that was the aspirin. The dose 150, if it is serious means, so that dose should be the 300 mg. So that aspirin was administered by the oral route. And this aspirin, it mainly helpful for treatment of the ischemic stroke. Okay, so due to deficiency of oxygen in the brain, the ischemia is occurs. So that ischemia is responsible for to cause of the stroke. So that was also treated with the help of the administrations of the aspirin, because one side aspirin, it can inhibit the platelet aggregation, and another side aspirin, it can stimulate the rate of respirations through a medullary reflexes, because aspirin is a chemical in nature. Through a chemoreceptor, it can send information to the medulla oblongata, so where the respiratory center was present. So due to getting the information from the chemoreceptor, so those medulla oblongata or respiratory center, so they can enhance the rate of respiration and depth of respiration. So that was helpful for the treatment of the ischemic stroke. One side it inhibits platelet aggregation, another side it can improve the respiration. So that phenomena, so they are helpful for the treatment of the ischemic stroke. And same aspirin is also used in the treatment of the TIA, that is transient ischemic attack, then as well as stable angina. And also they are helpful for treatment of ACH, that is acute coronary syndrome. Then also aspirin used in the treatment of PAD, that is the periphery artery diseases. Okay, so regarding ADR side effect, the due to use of aspirin, the gastric bleeding is increases, or the person is suffering from the peptic ulcer. Even the patient is suffering from the hemorrhagic stroke, that is the loss of blood, is also responsible to cause of the stroke that was known as the hemorrhagic stroke. It is one of the ADR for a aspirin. Okay, and aspirin is commonly used in the all conditions except so those patients they having the stunt. They having a stunt mean so the aspirin was failed. So instead of aspirin, you should be use the clopidogrel. So next, ADP receptor blockers like clopidogrel, the brand name is Plavix, then prasugrel, then Epient brand name, then ticagrelor, then the Brenta, then ticlopidine, ticlicid. So these all drugs, so they are administered by the oral route. So they are helpful for treatment of acute coronary syndrome after PCI, that is the precutaneous coronary invasions or angioplasty. So where the clopidogrel is after angioplasty, so clopidogrel are used instead of aspirin. So where after angioplasty, so aspirin should not be used. Otherwise, the internal hemorrhage can be occurs. Or you can use the clopidogrels, or even the clopidogrel used in the myocardial infarction, stroke, and as well as the PAD like periphery artery disease. Regarding the ADR, it can causes bleeding, abdominal pain, then diarrhea and rash. Regarding the prasugrel, it is used the ACH after PCI. Regarding ticlopidine, it can used in the stroke patient intolerant to the aspirin. The patient should be intolerant to aspirin or hypersensitive to aspirin means so where you can use the clopidogrel or ticlopidines. Then their ADR is a bleeding, dyspnea, then thrombocytopenia, neutropenia, then TTP. Okay, so next one is the PD inhibitors like cilostazol or dipyridamole. So they are administered by oral route. So they are used after heart wall replacement. So where the drug of choice is a pyridamole used along with the warfarin, then as well as cilostazol, that is the pad used in the pad or intimate claudations. Regarding ADR, so there causes the headache, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and even this drug causes the flushing and hypotension. So regarding the glycoprotein second B, third A inhibitors like abeximab, the common brand name or popular brand name is a Riopro, then FT50, the popular brand name is a Integrelin, then Tirofiban, the popular brand name is a Agrastat. So these drugs, so they are mainly administered by the IV route, and these are helpful for treatment of the ACS, that is acute coronary syndrome, PCI, precutaneous coronary inversion, or also known as angioplasty. Previously, so this PCI was known as the angioplasty. So after angioplasty, so this drug was used to prevent the coagulation. So where the angioplasty was done. Okay, so due to angioplasty, so certain blood coagulations can occur in the blood vessel. So that was prevented, or insertions of the stent that was coagulations can occur. So that was prevented by administrations of the these glycoprotein second B, third A inhibitors like abeximab, eftifitide, then tirofibans. So regarding FT-futide it is used in the only case of ACS and PCI. Then tirofiban it is only used in the case of the AC, that is the acute coronary syndrome. The regarding side effects, so these are causes the bleeding, including bleeding from the GIT, then urinary tract, then retroperitoneum, then as well as excessive bleeding and bleeding in the urinary tract, like that. So these drugs, so these are mainly used in treatment of the heart attack, and as well as the to treatment of the stroke. So these are the main uses of the antiplatelet drugs. So they are used as the antiplatelet agents to avoid the formations of the excess clot inside the blood vessel. So that's why so they are used in the treatment of ischemic heart disease, that is the also known as the myocardial infarction, or so these are also treatment of the angina. Then also, so they are treatment in the cardiac procedure. Okay, so during the cardiac procedure, certain blood vessels are damages, or the myocardium can be cutted. So after surgery, there is chance of the blood coagulation. So that was prevented by administrations of the these drugs. And also, so these drugs used after angioplasty and stunning or insertions of the stent. Then also, so they use in the treatment of the atrial fibrillation, then replacement of the heart wall, then vascular graft, and even so these drugs are used after the hemodialysis. So during the failure of the kidney, so the hemodialysis can be done to remove the excess of the creatinine waste material from the blood by filtering of the blood. So that process was known as the hemodialysis. So after hemodialysis, so there is a chance of the formations of blood coagulation inside the, because work during hemodialysis, the blood can move through the are circulated through the equipment artificial kidney. So due to that movement, so there is chance of platelet activation when the platelets are moved inside that instrument or artificial kidney. So that's why when they are returned to the blood, there is a chance of the clot formations of clot. So that was prevented by administrations of these antiplatelet drugs after hemodialysis. It should be the remember. Okay, thank you.